how's it going? So I'm getting ready to plant a few more containers for spring. I'm ready for spring color, and I've got some beautiful plants to show you, and they're all really tough perennial plants that we can use now or as soon as you're able to plant in your area, and then you can pop them out into the landscape when you get ready to put your summer plants in. So I wanted to show you some of the options you can be looking for, and I get to plant up a few of my new containers. I'm so excited. I've got a trio flanking this opening right here. This is kind of where we park our cars. So it's a really nice kind of welcome entrance area, and I've been really inspired by several gardeners on Instagram, and I will try to remember to put their names down below so you can check them out. Most of them are from Europe, and they do these big groupings of containers like outside of doorways and like flanking walkways like this, just full of beautiful plants. A lot of times they do a monochromatic where it's like red or pink, and they do a bunch of variations of that color in that grouping of pots. Sometimes there's like 10 to 20 pots in the grouping, and so I'm not getting quite that big here because we do need to have space to park our cars, but I'm doing a little bit of that. So this pot right here I have up on risers just to give us a nice like stair step down. These pots were already here. I put those here last year, and then our lowest pot here. So I'm going to be running drip into each one of these containers. We will not be hooking it up now, but it'll be at least in place so that come time to like when we have to really consistently water when it gets warmer out, it'll be in there. And then these are the plants I'm going to be using today. So let me run through these really quick. This is a tater tot arborvitae right here. You can see it still has a little bit of its copper winter color up top here, but these are just a beautiful medium green miniature evergreen, zone 3 through 7, and they grow about 1 to 2 feet tall and wide. So they're just this really beautiful, small statured evergreen. So if you've got a small spot in your flower bed that you want some winter structure, this is a really fun one to add. I have a couple of them nearby actually in one of our flower beds. And then we've got the hopscotch heucherella, zone 4 through 9. In fact, all of my heuchera, I've got 1 heuchera and 2 heucherellas. They're all zone 4 through 9. This one grows about 10 to 12 inches, I want to say, tall and about 20 inches wide. But look at this new growth. Look at that color. Isn't that beautiful? So you get like a lot of variation in just this one plant, and this plant is massive. So this one right here, I'm only going to put 1 plant in the 2 smaller containers, and this is the one. And then we've got the wild rose heuchera, which like that speaks for itself. Look at that beautiful color right here. And I can't remember the size, 8 to 10 inches tall, 26-inch spread. So we've got a nice wide plant here already. And then all of these do throw up bloom stalks as well. And then this is a heucherella called I Spy. But I just think all of these are so pretty. And like I said, this one's a zone 4 through 9 as well. And this one has a really interesting leaf structure, a little bit different from all of them, a little deeper lobed. And then I've got a hellebore here called Spring Party. So the underside of the blooms look kind of pink, and then we've got a creamy center with kind of a variegated looking leaf there. So a little bit of pretty variation. We've got a lot of pretty leaf structures. We've got a viola called Sorbet Pink Wing, which I think these are the sweetest violas, and then an ivy called Glacier, which is a nice kind of a frosty green variegated ivy. And then of course I do have Black Hill spruce up here in my English floral urns, which I planted late fall, early winter, and they were really pretty out here for the winter time. And I just have pine cones around the base, but I'll be taking these out and putting some violas around the base of this. So I've got my Espoma potting mix here and my Waterwise drip kit, and we'll be just getting these all set up and planted, and then we'll show you what they look like. I think that they look so pretty. And this early in the season, you know, you can usually find a little bit of color in violas, pansies, primrose, but using a bunch of different textures in leaves is always a really fun thing to do. So I want to give you a little tour of each one of these pots. First off, so the Black Hills spruce stayed, and I had enough violas to do, I think, 7 or 8 around the base of each one. So there was still quite a bit of soil left showing. So I went ahead and utilized some of the pine cones I already had in there just to top dress the soil a little bit. And these violas will fill in and they'll get really good size. So in no time at all, they'll be filling up this whole bottom section and they'll be full of color. And I love this light blue with the bright yellow. It looks very springy to me. And then we've got the hopscotch heucherella right down in there, and that filled up the pot all by itself. And it looks beautiful. And that is one that I can either leave in there. Actually, a lot of these are ones I can leave in here, or I can plant them out in the landscape later on, which I do have plans for these pots for the summertime. So that's what will happen here. And then in this pot, there's only one additional plant I added that I didn't show you before, and that's this Dusty Miller right here. It just needed a little pop of something bright in that spot. And I really liked the shape of the tater tot, like the round, kind of lower shape, as opposed to this really tall one. I think we have like a helicopter going overhead. Hold on just a second. Here, a helicopter and a plane. Sweet. We live about 3 miles away from our airport. It's a really small airport, and so really tiny little like crop duster type planes fly out from it, but they like to fly right over our house occasionally. So anyway, I think I was talking about the juxtaposition of shape of these two, and I think that that's really fun to have something very different in this container as opposed to like doing something very similar and like tall. So I wanted the height to be in this pot and then this one to be a little bit more low and rounded. And I think that this is beautiful right here. And then all the plants surrounding it are just showstoppers. I mean, this wild rose right here is just absolutely phenomenal. And I really don't expect, I mean, they're gonna only be in these pots for, what is it, mid-February? So they'll be in these pots for maybe 2 to 3 months, somewhere right around in there. But I don't expect them to put on a whole lot of growth. That's why I kind of jammed all these plants in here. And then I've got an ivy right here, which will probably put on a little bit more growth, but not a ton. But it's just kind of a nice soft texture right there. And then we've got the hellebore in the center. I've got a little viola popped in there for a little bit of color. The heucherella I spy, and you can even see, I was noticing, look at that. We've got a little bloom stalk starting. And right here. I love it. And then the Dusty Miller, another viola, and then I did pop an ivy on the back side on this side of the tater tot because we do still see these pots through the fence, not a lot, so that's why I kind of backed this plant up toward the back of the container, but it's still nice to have a little something, and then that can kind of grow over and hide this drip tubing. So I did run just a length of drip tubing out the bottom of the pot so that I can connect it in later. And then when I'm ready, I can also connect all of my however many emitters I need for each one of these containers. But for now, I'll probably only need to water these pots maybe once a week at this point with the temperatures we've been having, and they should be just fine. Now the names of these pots, these are all from Unique Stone. This is the English Floral Urn right here. This one is the Garland Jardiniere. And then this one is the Twain Jardiniere. And then we've got the Gothic Pot Risers right there. And we'll go ahead and we'll link everything I used in this project down below. So all the plants, all the containers, the drip supplies and soil and all of that, just in case you guys want to learn any more. But I just thought it would be fun to get out here and get some plants going on in this area. And that's what I do in the spring. I just slowly, like, I don't plant all my containers in the spring. I just do the ones where there's the most foot traffic. So where we park our cars and the areas we walk by. And I just slowly work on them as the temperatures warm up. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing these come together. Hope you're all having a really good day, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.